This is Fergus Hodgson, Director of Econ Americas. I'd like to share with you my latest review, which is of the book Flash Boys by Michael Lewis, subtitled A Wall Street Revolt, and it came out in 2014. This book is worth your time. It unveils many aspects of public stock markets that the layman or lay investor would not normally learn about. And he reveals these elements in a compelling or interesting way by using about a half a dozen biographical stories. So the chief conclusion from this is that you have to look up for yourself because no one else will, or do your own homework because both the chief institutional players and regulators do not have the right incentives to look out for you. And one interesting example comes from the SEC crackdown on BlockFi, which is a decentralized or cryptocurrency lending platform. So in this case, the SEC showed that it sides with the status quo and protecting its regulatory turf over innovators and people who promote financial inclusion. Okay. So Michael Lewis is seeking to go after what he sees as an opaque or de facto tax on stock markets by insiders, right? So it's a somewhat of a David versus Goliath standoff or tale, and that I suspect is why it was a bestseller, right? It's been a very popular book. And there's substance here. There is such a tax, and it is a drag. It reduces allocative efficiency. It reduces confidence or the integrity of capital markets. We don't necessarily know the magnitude, but it is there. And by reading the book, you also realize how claims such as that there are zero commission or no commission trades are at best hollow marketing. The book explains well how brokers or market makers monetize their activities in often ways that are not easily visible. Okay. So there are many criticisms of the book, and many of them are legitimate. In particular, Michael Lewis does not feature, nor even apparently interview, any high-frequency trader. So he failed to penetrate that community. Further, his conclusion or epilogue is confusing. There's not a clear or coherent finishing. There's no real clear circle back, or it feels unfinished. It feels like it came out a bit rushed. Then finally, the protagonist of the book, Brad Katsuyama, he goes ahead and starts the Investors Exchange, or IEX. And this exchange is supposedly the exchange for the people. It's going to prevent all this computerized scalping, in the words of Brad Katsuyama. Yet this exchange, which I think began in 2013, has failed to capture more than 1 or 2% of the U.S. market. So that leaves, let's say, a hanging question. Why is this consumer-driven exchange, why is it failing? It really makes the reader ponder. That's why I said that the conclusion is a bit confusing. And this also suggests that there's really a great opportunity for a sequel from Michael Lewis to dig into this more. The first book was a success. I would love to see him do a sequel and resolve many of the unanswered questions from the first book. If you'd like to read my full review, please go to econamericas.com and consider subscribing to our premium content too. Otherwise, thanks for listening. Cheers.